So I just got a camera with face tracking or detecting autofocus, and this feature literally changes everything in terms of shooting A-roll. I used to hate it because I'd have to have my phone open and focus on my face because the camera that I used to use had horrible autofocus and I only had to use manual focus. But this, I can get up, I can walk around, I can sit in this chair like a person and not stiff trying to stay in this shallow depth of field. It's just incredible, and I thought I'd let you know, but that is not the point of this video. Today, we're here to talk about my daily driver, the 11 Pro Max, which I've had for the past 2 months now. And no, this is not a long-term review that's coming at the 6-month mark. Instead, I'm just going to share some insights and things that I've learned about this device with the extended time that I've had it, stuff that I didn't include in my full review. But before we continue here, I'd really appreciate it if you'd leave a like on this video, comment if you have any questions, suggestions, or opinions, as the algorithm likes that, and will help push my content to more people. First up, I want to talk about this device's display. And yes, I established in my full review that it's an excellent panel. It's bright, it's colorful, it's contrasty and sharp. But the thing is, I didn't know how bright it really was until I really started using it outdoors, especially now with the sun going down at 4:30 here in Michigan. So outdoors in like bright sunlight, of the sunlight that we have now, it's really easy to use because the display gets so bright. This is the best phone I've ever had for outdoor usage. So I really never struggle to use this device in outdoor sunlit conditions. And then at night, I'll be like walking from my car to my house or to school. It'll be pitch black and I'll have the phone at full brightness and I'll be staring at it. And then I'll like pull the phone away and my pupils are so like not dilated that it's like I'm like blind. I'm like effectively blind outside. It maxes out around like 1,000 or so nits while playing HDR content. So that goes to show just how bright this display is and how a bright display really is useful and kind of dangerous in some conditions. And I'll say this again, the contrast and color on this device are just insane. This display on here is not called XDR for nothing, and it is noticeably higher quality than even last year's XS and XS Max devices. And someone got upset with me for saying that, like, oh, you Apple fanboy, you're just trying to sell this phone to people, even though the displays are not even different. In my humble opinion, from my months of experience with both phones, that's true. And although it's not a reason to upgrade, it is definitely a nice quality of this display. Next up, let's talk battery life, and Apple really did a great job making the battery life better than that of the last generation. They added 4 hours, I think, in terms of overall screen on time, and I've definitely seen that. I barely end a day with less than 50% charge. I think I've only drained this phone once, and I was super surprised. Maybe I used it for like 2 days in a row without charging, and you can actually do that. You can actually use this 2 days in a row and get by. I think I've done it a couple times when I forgot to put my phone on my wireless charging pad. I think I've actually made it through 2 days. So the battery life on this device is just stellar. It's even better than the iPhone 11, which has really awesome battery life, like I said in my 2 months later assessment on that. And if you're upgrading from a device with a degraded battery, this phone will just blow your mind in terms of how long it really lasts. Next up, let's talk about this phone's camera setup and what I've learned, and I love the fact that I can do that, you know, have it focus on that and then have it focus on my face. I've never been able to do that because my previous camera's autofocus was so shit. This is so cool. But on a similar topic of cameras here, the setup on here I think is the best on the market. I mean, Google and Samsung and Huawei probably do some things better, but overall, this camera setup on here is so well-rounded. The image processing from Apple is so incredible. The low light was really well done. I think that Apple took their time with implementing that. That's why they didn't implement it a couple years ago. The ultra wide is useful, and I actually really love the telephoto lens on this phone here. I actually find myself zooming in more than I'm needing to zoom out or use the ultra wide. And no, Google did not pay me to say that. Someone left me a comment when I said that in my iPhone 11 video. And yeah, just overall, the image quality that you can pull from this device is just nuts. I'm so pleased with the 4K video that comes out of this device that I'm comfortable using it to create content on this channel for like vlog type videos. And yeah, I love using this phone as a creative tool. It's super convenient. And once again, the camera quality is up there for high quality production, I would say. But of course, it doesn't replace a real camera. You still get smartphone looking noise. You still get a smartphone looking image and lack of depth of field. But Apple has really pushed the boundaries in terms of image quality. And the iPhone 11 Pro Max is living, albeit inanimate, proof of that. And the orange hair light behind me just died, so we're just gonna have to record the rest of the video like this because I don't have any other rechargeable batteries for it, so yikes. Next up, I want to talk about speaker quality, and it's really impressive here. It's nothing like absolutely insane. I don't think it beats out the Razer phone, but it's definitely loud and clear and detailed and nuanced, and I love the sound that comes out of it. It is much better than my last gen XS Max and much better than the iPhone 11, and you will definitely enjoy them for media consumption. I certainly do when I'm listening to music on Spotify and watching YouTube videos and whatnot. And last up, I want to talk about the new color that was launched with iPhone 11 Pro and Pro Max. That is the midnight green color or version. I was worried that I wasn't going to like it after buying it. I was like, oh, I probably want to go with space gray, but I'm really loving the subtle green here. It is very close to space gray. If you were to compare the two, if you were in a certain lighting, you probably couldn't tell the difference, but I love the fact that this is a very, chill, like pine green. It's very subtle. It's classy. I think it's beautiful. I love the way that the light shines off of the steel slightly green bands around this phone, and the matte glass feels great too. So if you're thinking about getting the midnight green but you're hesitant, don't be. It's a very neutral color. Once again, it's almost space gray, and it goes with all my clothes, and it's not really in your face, but people will notice, and I think it's a really beautiful sheen. And I also think that Apple's leather case that corresponds with the midnight green looks really nice too. I've had this for the past 2 weeks, and I've really enjoyed it so far. And yeah, so far I am thoroughly enjoying this device here. It is certainly expensive, and I would honestly recommend watching some more iPhone 11 content, maybe mine, if you want to make sure that this device is worth the extra cash you're going to pay for it. And that about wraps things up here. I hope this video helped you out. Once again, I'd really appreciate it if you leave a like on this video, comment if you have any questions, suggestions, or opinions, and subscribe for more content like this. And as always, I'm Noah, and I will catch you all in the next one.